Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 16 in the NFL. We're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. And of course, he always takes the games that I ask him to cover. Not his best bets of the week by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes they do wind up being plays with big edges. Right now, we're going to cover Minnesota, Miami. And last week, Duffy covered the Minnesota game, recommended Minnesota +8 to us. And then Brent for BetDSI told me that that was a sharp side. Of course, it wound up winning. And we're going to cover Minnesota, Miami this week again. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Yeah, and that was actually a premium play as well.
Yeah, very, very sharp, awesome analysis, sharp as hell. All right, before we get to it, give everyone a plug for OffshoreInsiders.com. That is where all your premium plays go each week, not in our videos.
People always ask me, what's your best sport? And it's really hard to say. This year so far it's been college basketball, but over the 27 years it's been in the NFL. But I'm also going to tell you, great time of the year is the bowls because there's so much convoluted logic going out there and there's a lot of betting myths. So if you only bet with me for, say, a month, the bowls are a great time. But sign up. We got all kinds of packages, even a bowl-only package at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right, Joe. Well, you recommended Minnesota last week. It was a very sharp call, wound up cashing, and here they are sort of in a similar situation. A big road underdog right now, 6.5 or 7 is the market-wide number, and the total is also all over the place. 42.5, 42, and 43 are all widely available right now. Miami, of course, got popped at New England, and Miami has now lost 3 in a row against the spread, and Minnesota's just been kind of a covering machine after, the Sharps were on Minnesota last week. After they got that covered, they're now 7-1 against the spread over their last 8 games. So even though they might not win a game, they seem to be a good bet each week in and week out. Here they are getting a lot of points again. Do you like Minnesota again here?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. And I both like Minnesota and I also like going against Miami. So I would say very good chance it's going to turn out to be a premium play. I've already released a couple of premium plays in the NFL. Not officially this yet, but I'm leaning very strongly towards it. But yeah, I am going with Minnesota. First of all, anyone who's been watching our videos or certainly more importantly been getting my premium plays, they know that I'm not a big fan of Ryan Tannehill. I think he's overrated. I thought he was overrated from the beginning, and when people were saying, Mike Wallace was going to give them the missing link because he didn't have any downfield threat, I said that they were going to be a fade team, and they've never really lived up to the expectations, especially once they got Wallace thinking he was going to be the missing link a couple years ago. But Miami, they're folding under pressure. And again, one of the biggest myths is going with teams that need it more this time of the year. Obviously, Miami is the team that needs it more. They're fighting for the playoff lives. Well, why are they fighting for the playoff lives? Because they've lost recently. They're losing big games and they're not playing very well. All the pressure is on them. The last 3.5 games, the Dolphins have been outscored 83-44. Meanwhile, as you said, Miami or Minnesota, they fit into our dichotomous straight up and ATS theory, where, as you said, they've covered 7 out of their last 8, despite being only 5-8 their last 13. And again, if you're watching these videos for the first time, basically the short part of it is if a team is covering yet losing straight up for the most part, or if they are losing ATS but yet winning straight up, we ride the spread streak on that. And there's a couple reasons behind it, but we don't want to keep explaining it in depth each and every time. But that would favor Minnesota. And most importantly, Teddy Bridgewater, as I said, he's progressing the way a rookie quarterback is supposed to. Each and every game, he's getting better. They're really going back to what his strength was in college. They said that his strength was throwing the ball maybe 10 to 15 yards down the field. He wasn't necessarily somebody who could throw the ball deep, but he is great with his accuracy on the short passes, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So I think, Minnesota, they're playing better, less pressure, and they seem to be heading up, and and Miami's heading down. So Minnesota is the play.
All right, Joe. Minnesota's line value over the past 2 months seems to have been for real. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com expects it to continue at least for one more week, like in Minnesota. Currently +7 is available. Thanks so much, Joe.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.